Hi guys, and welcome along to lesson 26 of my video tutorial series on computer programming in the basic computer language. This time I'm going to use the awesome free diagram designer program to show you a flowchart of the program before we actually go into running the program and viewing the coding for it. This program is a simple, I call it tally program, but it's basically a very simple statistics program that will give you the total of a series of numbers that are entered into the computer. It will give you the average of those numbers. It will give you the highest number and the lowest number. Okay, with that ado, let's start off and see how we go on here. Right, the first part of the flowchart, set counters. I've made a little note for myself that we're just basically setting total, count, high and low all to 0. Total is the total number. Count is the number of items that have been entered. High is the highest number that was entered, and low is the lowest number that was entered. Very simple. Okay, so I'll just move the diagram down a little so you can see a little bit more of the main meat of the flowchart. This is the main part of the flowchart, from there down to there basically. Okay, right, what we're doing now is inputting a number into variable A, then we're asking if it's -1. The reason I'm asking if it's -1 is that's the number that I've decided I'm going to use to terminate the program, to tell the program that that's going to be the last item has been entered in. Okay, so we don't have to have a for loop or anything like that. We're just going until we type a -1 in. If you're going to use -1 in your set of numbers that you're going to be entering in your data, then you'll have to change -1 to something that you're not going to use, you know, like -1,000,000 or whatever you're going to use. Okay, I'm missing a yes off here, by the way. Okay, so make a note of that. This branch is yes, this branch is no. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're checking to see if A is -1. That's the number we've typed in. No, it isn't. So we'll go down and say, is count equal to 0? Count is only equal to 0 on the very first run, on the very first number. The reason we're asking that is we've got to let high and low equal a number. Currently they're set to 0, but of course low may not be 0, low may be 6, and we can't check for the lowest number until we have a reference point to go from. So on the very first run through, we're letting both high and low equal whatever the first value is, because the first number that you type in is both the highest number and the lowest number of what you type in. That this branch will never be used again after the first run. Okay, so we'll go back to the main part and we say add A to total and add 1 to count. So if we type 10 in, then total is now 10, count will now be 1. We ask if A is greater than high, where high is 10 for instance. A is 10, so it's not higher, so it'll carry on to no. Is A less than 10? No, it's not, so it'll carry on and loop back round here, ask for another number. The next number we type in may be, for instance, number 4. So we put a 4 in, it's not -1. That will never happen again because count is now 1. We add 4 to the total, which was 10. That gives us 14. We add 1 to count, which gives us 2. Is A greater than high? In other words, is 4, the number we just typed in, greater than 10? No, it's not. Is A is A lower than low, less than low? Yes, it is. 4 is less than 10. So we'll let low equal the new value of A, which is 4. So low is now 4. That's the lowest number that we've put in, is now stored in low. And we jump back and ask for another number. So let's say at this point that we put in the number 20. Okay, so is it -1? No, that won't affect because it counts now 2. Add to total, it was 14, we're adding 20 in here, so that would give us 34. Add 1 to count, which is 3. Is 20 greater than 10? High was still 10, remember? Yes, it is, so we'll let high now equal 20, and we'll loop back again. So as you can see, the highest number that we've inputted so far is in high, the lowest number is in low, and we can terminate the program by, when we enter the number into here, typing in a -1, it will ask, is it -1? Yes. And it will loop down here, print results, and just scroll down a little bit, and end. And that's basically the logic, if you look at that, how to write the flowchart out for something like this. Hopefully you grasp the idea and you can start doing your own flowcharts and make programming your own programs even simpler. Also, hopefully when you can do something like this, you'll be able to understand my programs a lot easier than just seeing a bunch of code there and seeing it work on the screen. It's a lot more interactive, a lot more fun. With that said, here is the actual program that does the job. So as you can see, we're letting the counters equal to 0 at the beginning, which we saw on the flowchart. Okay, we're just expanding on the boxes a little bit. We're printing out, please enter your figure and enter -1 to end, and then we're inputting it into there. We're clearing the screen. We're checking to see if it's -1. That was your next box. And then these two here are if count is equal to 0, which is on the first run through. To remember that branch on the flowchart. Then we're letting high equal A and low equal A. Then we're adding the total. We're adding A to the total in this statement here. We're adding 1 to count, so it's following the flowchart through all the way. Then we're asking, that's the first question we're asking after the count. If A is greater than high, then let high equal A. If A is less than low, then let low equal A. And then go back to 50. 50, of course, is back up to the top of the flowchart, and that's where we input another number, and so on and so forth. We check for if A is a -1 here. If A is -1, then we go to 160. 160 starts out the print results on the flowchart that you've just seen, which is from there on, and the program ends. Okay, so shall we have a little bit of a run of this program and see what happens? Okay, so what we've got here is please enter your figure. I'm just going to pluck some figures from the area. I haven't rehearsed this at all, so we'll put in 12, and then we'll put in 6 and 18 and 8, and then we'll type in a -1 to end the program. And there we go. The total of the numbers I typed in was 44. The total entries are 4. The average value of the numbers I've entered was 11. The highest value I entered was 18. And the lowest value entered was 6. So there you go. That's a little simple program for you. Simple statistical program which you can use for whatever you wish to use it for donations or for sales or for keeping records of anything that you need to keep records of. Hopefully this is a little bit of a useful program that you can use. You can even maybe modify it yourself if you want to go a bit further and have a play about with it. What I will do in the description is put you a link in for the diagram program that's freeware, and I'll also put you a link into our site which has this program plus thousands of others, tutorials on all sorts of different subjects. So please pop along and visit us. We've got plenty to keep you occupied. It's free to join, and we'd love to see you, and we give you a warm welcome. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please rate and favourite my videos if you like them. Hopefully we'll see you again in the next lesson. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.